above and a bed beneath them.
Sure. The county home is filled to the jaws with the likes of her. You'd see people coming and going with their heads out of the window, hoping people will come and take them out of it. 'Tis a spot of cork to see how they do be fighting and squabbling over a few potatoes and a forkful of mate. Aye, but the worst thing is that they do be stopping the old women from smoking. An old woman from t'other side of mountain who had a liking for pipe and tobacco went out of her mind after 3 days. She could be heard screeching in the other world. They had a bit of sacking over her mouth, but what use was that but as little? She started scraping herself until the flesh was hanging from her in gibbles, and the blood was coursing out of her in streams. 'Twas the madness for the pipe, you see. She was an awful sight the day that she died. They buried her in the middle of the night without a Christian in the world of her own people to say a prayer for her. Some people, you see, do not know when they are well off.
She'll change.
She have the appearance of one that won't.
She'll change. She's a burden without being a curse altogether.
Walking the road she should be, with the rest of her equals.
Will she walk? Will she? Go on, you old woman. Put your bag on your back and go begging from door to door. Will she go? No, nor go. What a fool she would be to leave her warm fire and the pipe handy by her and the good table with 3 rounds of diet every day.
There's a hattery of sin in this house.
Enough of your sharp answers, you old woman. You sit here day in, day out, taking all you can get, like you're born for it, like the queen of the land.
Like a child in a cradle.
Is it my fault your son is a tired governor of a man?
Hey, don't be saying it. You've upset her.
A clucking hen.
I'll strike you! I'll rip the head from your shoulders!
Don't be goading her. Don't be goading her.
There's a hattery of sin inside.
Oh, she'll burn! She'll burn the next she gets over her life!
Calm yourself. The mind from fight has left her. There is a play to all things. You see the cock salmon that do be swimming in the deep holes of the river? They do be making plans for his capture, using nets and stones. But what good but his little? Age is what will do it. Age is the killer's thief. Age is the boy that will suffer no nonsense. He have the grip like the double knot. The old woman is tiring.
When will he give the money?
If there will be a wedding, 'twill be on the night of the wedding, on the word of the man. And is there a word from the girl?
She'll do what is need to be done. I might be telling you always.
But has she said the words from her lips?
What's the need for that?
'Twould put my mind more at ease.
Well, you can rest your mind. She'll marry Sean Dota and that'll be the end of it.
I tell you, I won't rest until he have a halt of her.
That'll be Sive now. When she comes in, pass her the time of day and nothing more. It's his work for a woman now.
You will put the best things before her?
Get yourself and be ready to go.
And what about...
She'll dance to my tune. Easy.
Sive. Is the schooling over by you today?
The bicycle got punctured again. I had to walk from beyond the cross.
There's a great length coming to the days, thanks be to God. We'll have the summer upon us soon.
Goodbye to you, Thomasine.
Goodbye. I'll be seeing you shortly, I hope, before we're much too older.
We'll be here.
Goodbye, all. Good luck.
The tubes of the bicycle are full of holes.
I'll tell himself to be on the lookout in the village for a new pair of tubes. Will I wet a mouthful of tea for you? You must be tired after your day.
No, don't bother with the tea. I'll wait until the dinner.
A cup of milk, so. Oh, it must be a naze for you to get away from the nuns and the books. But for sure we won't have much for the schooling now. Oh, any of the girls in the parish would give their right hand to have the dance before you.
But what?
Oh, nonsense, child. Sit down and don't think of it. You think about the handling of thousands, the fine clothes and perfumery, the hundreds of pounds in creamery checks coming in the door for you, and the 7 boy and the 7 girl falling over you for fear that you might dirty your hands with work.
You don't know.
Nonsense, child. Sit down and drink your milk. You could have your grandmother with you. Think of the joy it would give her to be settled in a fine house as you see you have the run of it. I'm sure what he's a few years older than you. Won't we all be old in a handful of years?
Please, please, you don't know what you're saying. How can you ask me such a thing?
Now himself will call down to convent tomorrow and tell the Reverend Mother that you won't be going in anymore. What would a grown woman like you be doing amongst children, spending her days?
Please, I could never marry such an old man. Fancy waking in the light of day to the odd head of him. Oh my God, no, I could not.
Child, sit down and drink your milk. I know what you're going into. Do not think I would not gainsay him if it wasn't the best thing for you. Would you picture yourself every Sunday off to the chapel in your fancy motor car with your head high and you giving the odd look to the poor orange chucks in their docking cars with their yellow shawls and the dirt by them? Would you thank God you won't be like the poor women of these parts, begging and scraping for the bare sup and the bare bite of it?
Imagine what the girls at school would say. Imagine going to a dance with him, or going up to the chapel with him.
All I know is that you'll be independent and you'll have no enemy when you have the name of money.
I don't know what to think or what to say. I don't want to give offense, but I will not marry such a man. I will not marry at all.
Oh, you'll change. You'll change when you have the thought of a room for your own, when you think of the misery you're leaving behind, when you think of the way you were born.
Surely you don't remember when I was born. Nobody ever told me about my mother or my father.
I'll tell the tale. Himself would never bring himself to say it. You'd think it was some kind of a blemish, and sure, what was it but the act of nature? Your mother, God grant her a bed in heaven, was a nice lie of a girl, and your father, if he's alive today, never made himself known. Your grandmother, for all your whispering and talking behind my back, was never the one to come out with the truth.
But my father, I thought you said he was drowned in England.
Your father was no father, God help him. He straightened his sails and disappeared like the mist of a May morning. It's no wonder your mother died with the shame of it. Aye, no blame a Cree, no blame to what is mortal. Is it how two people would be apart and have blood becoming a flood in their veins? The sound of fiddles and airy hornpipes, the pale lights on a face on the side of a river, the whispered word, the feeling of soft arms and strong arms.
I thought you said you'd tell me about my father.
Your father was no father. He had no name. You have no name. You'll have no name until you take a husband. It's time you're told, child. You're a by child, a common by child. Bastard. You'll sleep with that old woman no longer. There'll be no more schooling for you. School is for children and schoolmasters. You'll have a time when you have a room for your own, when you think of the misery you're leaving behind you. Where was I when I was your age in my father's house? There's 4 sisters of us, with one room without a bed to call for our own. We'd talk until the middle of the night. We would vex. We'd beg, borrow, steal. We'd fire embers of fire to show a boy our name to go with, to make a husband out of. Take no note of a man who has no piece of property, who'll be full of ramesh and blather and cannot make a marriage bed for you. Take heed of a man who has a piece of property. He'll have the keeping of word, because he has the keeping of the good word. Now go to your room and be sure to think of what I said.
Well, an old man came courting me, hey, ding do rum down. An old man came.
Ladies and gentlemen, there will now be a 15-minute interval.